difficulties.
The main difficulty, I think, it's visas, because it's hard to explain to the consul and stuff that we are walking through their country, so they usually don't want to give us long visas, so we have to manage with the authority, and it's not so easy. Mostly administration.
I have to tell you that this guy is getting to Vietnam by the visa from Chinese.
Yeah, Chinese. And we
Vietnamese ambassador in Chinese.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they give them only the visa for 1 month without extending.
Yeah. There's a tricky situation.
Normally you can extend it, right?
Right, we can extend, but you have to pay more. Like
pay more.
So now the question, please.
Yeah, we were talking about difficulties. Like visa is the most boring one, but there is the most exciting one. Like in China, there is very wide space, like Taklamakan Desert or big high plateau of Tibetan Plateau. We spent like 28 days without meeting any village, so we had to carry like 28 days of food in the bag. It was about 30 kilos.
Water it was okay because it's quite wet over there.
It's very high, there is snow and always running water.
And there's nothing to buy food. There's a lot of animals that we have nothing to hunt. So
You were unprepared.
Yeah.
It depends. When we are in white places like that, we use tents. Okay. But when we cross villages or even farm someone, people are very curious to see us, tourists in the middle of nowhere like that. So very often they, if it's a good time, so like end of the afternoon, they used to host us very often.
Yeah. If you are able to, we spent 1.5 years in China, so at the end we are able to speak Chinese, that introduce yourself, what you are doing, the travel, etc. So they are very curious, and if you see they can communicate with you, very often they invite you for eating or drinking, and when it's late, you sleep at their house, you're drinking the Chinese Joe, by Joe. But someone offers us...
yes, it happens few times. We were in forbidden areas, like in Kazakhstan or in China, it happens. And the police just catch us and say that we are not allowed to stay here. So we say, yeah, we don't have much money, so can we just sleep even in the police station? It's okay. They say no. But they say pay their own
The thing is, as we are traveling, we plan to travel for 5 or 6 years. We have to spend very carefully our money, so we have a budget like €2 per person per day. So in Europe it was a bit short, so we have the expired food in the market or expired bread and things. But here in Vietnam or in China, with €2 it's enough to have good food, and after you don't pay hotel to sleep in a tent or
Các bạn nghe rõ các bạn có nghe rõ và hiểu các bạn đã nói không ạ? Có ai nghe rõ không ạ? Xin hỏi các bạn, nếu các bạn nghe rõ rồi, các bạn này đã ở Trung Quốc trong vòng bao nhiêu lâu? Đâu? How long have you been in China?
One year.
Thấy chưa? 1 năm rưỡi nhá. Các bạn ấy vừa nói là một ngày các bạn tiêu bao nhiêu words? Là bằng bao nhiêu tiền Việt?
40.000 tiền Việt. 60.000.
Đấy là đô la.
Euro à?
50.000. Khoảng 50.000 đô la, euro là
22.000.
50.000 một ngày, và các bạn ấy nói là chỉ có giá trị ở đâu thôi? Dễ dàng. Trung Quốc và Việt Nam. Vậy là các bạn có thể thấy là 2 euro một ngày. Các bạn tiêu bao nhiêu tiền một ngày?
Did you walk along the way, or did you save money before you go traveling?
I saved money. I was working in Paris, a very boring job, taking subway every morning just to save money on my account. And basically we left France with €8,000 per person. Not much, especially for buying shoes, equipment and things. So we travel very small budget, but if you don't care too much about the comfort, like sleeping in a tent, taking a shower in the river when it's not very comfortable thing, but you really enjoy it. So.
You carry a sleeping bag with you?
Of course, we have a 20-kilo backpack, so mattress, sleeping bag, stand, water filter to drink any water you can find on the land, and food, of course, and we have the camera.
So we are traveling through different kinds of climates, right? Sometimes it's very cold, sometimes it's very hot. So do you carry, like, for example, when you are walking for the hot climate, do you carry all the winter equipment in your backpack, or do you maybe sell it and then buy a new one?
No, we did that from, we start very light, like the first 4 months. And after, in Turkey, we get the winter equipment, and we keep it from Turkey to China, to Vietnam. So we carry, like, sometimes we work with plus 40, plus 50 degrees in the sun, with a jacket and gloves in the bag, and it was very...
So you don't like this when you don't
Now we are arriving in Vietnam, so the weather will be hot for like 2 years, because we're going to Australia. So we switch back to a more light equipment.
So you sell basically your winter equipment?
No, most of them is destroyed, so we throw it away. It's very beautiful.
Have you ran into any criminal problems? Have you had anybody attack you or rob you or anything?
No, obviously not. Maybe some drunk people, but not criminals, just assholes who are drunk and don't hit yourself. So, in 4 years, we have maybe 2 or 3 troubles like that with criminals. After we had trouble with the police and the corrupted cops, even the Turkish army, they are very strong. They wanted to control it. It was the middle of Turkey in winter in a sensible area with the Kurdish activists who would bomb and stuff. So they were very strong control with the issue with the rifles, and we had to make it stop. It was scary, but it was not criminal.
Yeah. How about language difficulties as you travel?
Each time we cross a new border, we have to learn the new language. So during the first 1 month, it's very hard to get the new words and stuff. But after a while, it's okay. We don't need much. We just the thing we need just for food, for example, for water, for all the polite forms like thank you, goodbye, you know. And slowly,
so as we are traveling food, we spent 1 year in China, so for 3 months in the mess. As you are traveling slowly, you have really the time to learn from the language.
So what next countries will you want to now?
To Laos, then Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, Australia, South America.
When you have to cross the sea, what kind of
swim? No, we will not swim. 20-kilo backpack, you swim, you go.
Do you like take a ferry or
That's the thing, is because we plan to take a boat from Australia to South America, and there is a sailboat going in the other way because of the wind. And you are from the Netherlands. There is maybe 10% of the traffic boat going the other way. So we will try to take a sailboat or any boats. Stay on the land. If you cannot, so you have to take a flight.
Well, in Australia or even New Caledonia, over there it's a kind of French colony, so it should be easier for us to stay a long time there and wait for
How about jungle? You travel, I mean, go along jungle.
yeah, the experience.
You have to face with a lot of types of religions. Animals like lions, tigers,
A tiger, if you make a tiger, you're very unlucky. You don't make a tiger left, but it's a new challenge. Like when we left France, we had never traveled in a steppe. Like we walked like 2,000 kilometers in Kazakhstan steppe. We never crossed the desert. We crossed the Karakan desert. We never walked like 4,000 meters high. We walked in the ice. So it's a new challenge. We never face it, but we will learn from people who experience it, and we'll see. If there is people living in the jungle, we can do the same. Be careful.
Các bạn có thể cùng chúng ta nhắc lại để xem chúng ta cùng catch up với nhau, sau đó cái ý tưởng của mình lan man. Sau đất nước Việt Nam thì các bạn này sẽ đi đâu? Malaysia xong đến đâu nữa? Thế các bạn đi bằng phương tiện gì đến Australia? How did it go to Australia?
We try to get boats
from Indonesia for short distance, okay?
So, may I introduce for you our young customer from Hanoi? He's Mr. Titus. Want to go across the world like you?
Okay, if you want to join, take a backpack and honestly, since the beginning, there is maybe 10 or 12 people who work with us from 1 week to 3 months. So everybody is welcome to join.
Các bạn có vừa nghe thấy không ạ? Cho nên các bạn nói là trong cái chuyến đường các bạn đi luôn luôn có những người mà đi theo từ bao nhiêu tuần đến 3 tháng cùng với nhau. Cho nên đang đi trên đường này các bạn muốn đi theo cùng đúng không? Muốn tiếp tục cái cảm giác đi như thế nào đúng không? Mời các bạn đi theo. Lần trước có từng có nhóm 10 người đi theo bạn rồi. 10 người đi cùng.
Hey, if you have a tent, just sleeping bag.
Đi du lịch nước này tất cả mọi người ai quan tâm gì sẽ cho họ trong cái chuyến du lịch này.
Special question and important question for you from me. How many shoes did you change?
No, I don't know actually.
Five. Yeah,
12,000. Which kind of brand name of shoes?
This one is German shoes. Fucking expensive, but you can last. The last one lasts 6,000 kilometers. Wow. And at the beginning, I had cheapy one when I killed it in 4 months, and after these shoes last 1 year and a half, and the second one like that. It's like almost 300 euros.
One more question regarding health. Did you like take a lot of vaccinations?
Các bạn vừa nói là đôi giày các bạn đã thay thì là 5 đôi giày trong chuyến du lịch này.
And I took kind of
yellow fever.
Yellow fever is obligation for
Because I did it a long time ago.
anti-rabic.
I took everything.
Các bạn vừa nói là các bạn cái đôi giày đầu tiên thì các bạn dùng giày vớ vẩn nên là 4 tháng sau một lúc. Giày thứ hai thì nó cũng giống cái giày này nhưng mà 6.000 cây, cái này là cái giày thứ hai. Còn hãng gì đấy các bạn?
But these are good, mine are shitty. This one is German Mango.
Hãng giày tốt nhất Nola.
We didn't try.
Because it didn't exist when we started.
To start the journey?
Ai ngồi bên cạnh đang không phải lao được.
What inspired you to start your journey? What was it that made you pack up and leave?
So actually, when I was in France, when I was in France, I was working in a theater, like a technician, not very boring job. It was quite interesting, but at the end they couldn't keep me, so basically I lose my job, and I was not very in the mood to enter in, kind of schematic of the classic life, like having children and everything, building a house and stuff. I wanted to do something before. So I just began a trip like that alone in Europe for 6 months, walking. It was not so difficult actually.
Europe is many villages.
Yeah. So I spent 6 months alone in through like 8 countries, and I really enjoyed it. But the only point is that I couldn't share my experiences. So after when I came back, I decided to do it again with a longer trip. And I put some messages on internet, and that's how we first get in touch. And
Can I ask you when would you start? Or
the first
age are you? How old are you when you
now I'm 36.
And the first trip?
The first trip it was like 2004. Hey, yeah, long time ago.
And this was when you how old are you when you was a class?
I was.
Come on, this is mathematics. Minus plus.
Give him a break, he's been traveling.
Sorry?
I said give you a break, you've been traveling.
And you?
Me, I just, because he did the project for 2 years before starting the things. At the beginning we were 8 friends, so 8 different people, and I came on the group just 3 months before the departure, so I just came at the last minute, you can say. So for me it was very boring to live in Paris. I was working almost 2 years there, taking the subway 2 hours a day, both sides, in very grey cities full of rain and stuff.
And pollution.
And I was worrying to see like nice landscape on the TV and dream of traveling and stuff. So I said I save enough money. Even if I don't have many money, you can travel very cheap. And it was the idea of the travel of Thierry, because he had the idea and he got the message on forums. I have the idea to work around the world. I'm looking for teammates and stuff. So I joined the team.
At that time, when
I was 25.
Các bạn vừa nghe mình nhắc lại nhé, bạn này 25 tuổi này, bạn này 28 tuổi này. Bạn này thì thực hiện một chuyến đi vòng quanh châu Âu đi bộ 6 tháng, xong về là muốn đi nữa, đi chán rồi. Cả hai bạn đều sống ở Paris, you both live in Paris.
No, I am in Valence, a small city in the southeast.
Whatever. Có số bạn tôi đó là họ muốn được sống ở Paris 2 năm, ví dụ như thế, chứ các bạn đã từng làm việc ở đây 2 năm, suốt ngày đi chơi ngầm này, ngắm con gái Paris này, ngắm khách du lịch này, vân vân. Đấy, nhưng mà đối với các bạn ấy thì các bạn thấy là quá nhàm chán. Các bạn muốn đi xem Việt Nam cơ, thì tôi nghĩ là tôi thành người hạnh phúc nhất. I'm happiness because I don't live in Paris and I don't go to subway.
I lived 1 year in Paris.
Đấy là lý do mà tại sao các bạn ấy inspire các bạn để đi được chuyến vòng quanh thế giới này.
You can't walk any further because it's too exhausting.
Tired of walking.
I mean, tired or bored, because tired, if you're tired, you sleep and you day and you're like, bored, no, never tired. I mean, sometimes, like, especially with, again, like the Tibetan plateau, when you have to carry, like, we have a backpack, like 30 kilo of food and equipment, and it was like 4,000, 5,000 meters sometimes. So it's very tiring and exhausting, but all the landscape you see and you really feel it. It's a unique place on the world and not many people are lucky to see that, so it gives you the energy and the desire to go further. And once you are in the middle of nowhere, if you're going to stop, what you're going to do?
You have to continue.
You have to continue when you start in the middle of nowhere, you have to go somewhere to escape.
The lack of motivation can happen when you have a problem with the administration. When you try everything and nothing works to enter in a forbidden place, for example, it's kind of very demotivating. You always find a way.
When you guys are walking together, obviously you guys are friends, right?
Now we can say.
Maybe or maybe not. Yeah. So you're 2 different people. So do you ever experience a time where I'm tired of walking? I'm not.
But we have the same philosophy of traveling, so if there is, for example, one is tiring one day, don't want to walk, the other can wait, and it's quite a nice environment.
But we walk slower, let's say. We always walk a little bit.
And you always walk together, you don't get separated?
Sometimes we get separated, very few, and on like maximum it was like 1 week. And, because we have only one time for 2 people.
Okay.
Yeah, but always when I separate from it, I have no time, so after a while
sometimes it's glad because I want to go there, but I don't want to go there, but shock yourself and let's meet at the next chicken.
And do you usually walk during the day or do you sometimes walk at night?
It happened walking at night when it's very hot, like in Kazakhstan. It was like 60 degrees during Celsius degrees during the day in Kazakhstan because all food work at night, so we used to work at night.
Working at night, you don't see the landscape, so you don't see very far. And if you meet people, like a farm, if you walk at night, they are scared by you.
Right.
Like in China, there is no gangs, but in Kazakhstan, they have gangs. So if you can buy nights, it's very scary. But if you are in the wild,
And it depends also of the type of landscape. If it's flat and nothing can be dangerous, it's okay. But if it's mountain, you can fail all down.
Have you had any injuries on your trip?
Not only
yeah, if we are very, very badly injured, like if you break your leg totally, you have to go to how if you have a phone, you don't have to phone. There is one can run to the next village and call the rescue team, and the helicopter will bring you back to France, and it will be paid because we are small insurance.
I could be the end of the trip.
But for small things, it's happened. We walk with the fever and very sick, but you walk a little bit and you meet the locals. The locals see you are sick, so they host you. You rest, and you rest a little bit. Your body is healing by itself. Maybe it will be different because we are arriving in tropical areas, so you have malaria and dengue.
You have a good health.
Yes, we are very resistant. But in tropical, maybe we face
Any other question?
Yeah.
How do you keep your memories? Do you write a diary?
Basically, we have a website, and I love taking pictures, so I take a lot of pictures, and we're recording podcasts because we have many time to write text.
Yeah, exactly.
Write stuff, so I'm recording podcasts every month, and I upload on the website. And we have a video camera as well, so we are taking we try at the end to make a report, but we resume all the
we'll see
7 years old.
As a Kung Fu can find
Like people,
that guy.
you want me to take lessons, maybe you can.
You have to join
I think if the guy is very bad and won't badly rob you, he has a knife and it's okay.
And I think you are still like a gentleman. You look like
Gentlemen.
It's coming.
So do you bring guns with you? So
It's complicated to cross the border with the guns, and
yeah, it's quite
quite
tricky.
complicated. So one more you talk and it's your kind.
your parents worry for you. Your parents worry for you when you travel like that.
I try to give you
We contact with them like often with Skype and email with they don't worry, we are here. And they visited me like 1 year after the departure, and they come to visit us with his family as well. In a few months they will get to Thailand.
next London.
Hopefully they will see us after 3 months, 3 years. Seeing us.
Bạn vừa trả lời là số bạn nữ các bạn chắc chắn là thấp hơn số lượng km các bạn đã đi. Another question.
What's your most memorable memory?
So many.
Just take one.
Oh yeah.
Even if you're talking about good memories or bad ones.
I know.
Maybe bad.
It is now, right? You cannot calculate when you start.
But one of the best memories was when we crossed the Tibetan high plateau, when we walked like I told you, 28 days without any village. It was wildness, like I see more wild animals in 28 days of walk than previously in my entire life. Like we saw the first wolves, we saw Tibetan antelopes, one yak, one donkeys, and they are very curious because they don't see any humans, so they approach you to what are you doing?
They are curious, so they are very close. Yeah.
And they good? They taste good?
We wanted to try because you
We saw some baby antelopes. We
May I take one for you, okay? Tomorrow, ngày mai các bạn vẫn còn ở đây đến tận ngày 26. Từ giờ đến ngày 26 thì mời tất cả các bạn Couchsurfing, các bạn đã từng tham gia Travel Mate cũng như chưa. Nếu các bạn có muốn gặp các bạn này, mời các bạn này về nhà host, rủ các bạn đi ăn thịt rắn, ăn thịt chó. Các bạn ấy chưa được ăn thịt chó sói, nhưng mà sẽ được ăn thịt chó Việt Nam.
Yeah, he's a monk. He's more spiritual.
Monk or no prefer one? Only one good. Yeah.
I know the feeling, bro.